Good morning. Good morning. I almost did my good Monday morning that I usually do in my emails. Oh my gosh, what day is it? All right, so it's Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. Welcome. So, in my email, we talked a little bit about Quitters Week. So, when we get to like mid January, that's when people start to kind of fall off of their intentions, fall off of their New Year's resolutions, or things that they set for the year ahead. And why is this? Essentially, we're caught in this cycle of like, this will be my year, the new year, new me, right? Like the actual concept of it. When you're setting your intentions and everything, like you have like all this energy towards it, like everything is really great, like going into it, like you have all this motivation, all this energy behind it, like emotion. And when you're starting to put those emotions behind it, it actually there's momentum that builds. So whenever you're building that momentum, you start to like get really happy about it. Like you get these good feel good feelings. Like you get those little dopamine hits in your brain, and so um, this is also the same kind of concept when you go into like one of those like speaking things. Why am I not like words are not coming to me very easily today? Like the conferences, like with all the gatherings, like think of like Tony Robbins. Like you go and you're in the audience and in his presence and you're like, yes, I'm gonna do all the things, and like you get really excited, and then you go home and then your energy dips. So while quitting might be like a negative connotation at first, like it's actually it's a chance. It's a chance to actually be self-aware of what's going on, redirect what's going on. You know, sometimes we put our intentions on things that are unattainable, um, or we commit to things that are no longer in alignment. So sometimes quitting is a good thing, like it's giving you a chance to reevaluate where you're at. Like, is this serving me? Is my energy worth it going after this thing? Because again, you get all excited and you're like, whoo, rah, yes, I'm gonna start the business, or I'm gonna do all the things, and paint my whole entire house. And so these are all things that in the moment they feel really good, but it's like you're giving yourself that chance to really evaluate where you're at and if it's attainable, if it's something good. Now, if you feel like you're having that urge to quit, take a moment and actually reflect on why. Recognizing when it's time, again, time to release something that's no longer aligned with our values or goals, or you know if you just need to adjust your approach. It takes too much energy doing this thing, so maybe ask for help, seeking support, um, reevaluate if the goal is actually truly serving you. So it doesn't always mean failing, but it is a step towards reevaluating where you're at, a step towards seeing if you need to course correct, do things in a little bit different way. Um, so when we're looking at quitting, And I hate using that term quitting. Like it's such a negative thing, right? Like that we put behind it. But if you feel like quitting, perhaps it could be a fear, a subconscious fear that might be holding you back of going after what you truly desire. So like I keep talking about this invisible line, this invisible wall, this invisible tether that's kind of pulling you back to reality, back to, the mundane. But when you can conquer some of those negative emotions, perhaps fear, um, guilt is the big one that comes up for a lot of people too. When you address them, you release them, you make them neutral, that's when you start to achieve extraordinary things. Like the biggest thing that I can really stress is that this work that you do working on yourself, it is a muscle. It is a constant, like you gotta really flex that muscle and make sure that you're working at it often. And so when you're looking at um, negative emotions towards something, like it's taking the charge off of the things that have happened in the past, like what we really want to do, we don't want to, like we could go back and hypnotize you and make it all okay, right? But the thing is, like, the subconscious doesn't necessarily want things to be made okay. Like, we want to go back and look at the things that have happened in your past and make them neutral. We're trying to take that negative charge off of it. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. It happened. And when you're doing that, everything that's happened since that initial harming event, every single time it's happened, like, because typically, like, especially with like relationships, when you're getting into a relationship with somebody, you tend to get into the same relationship over and over and over. When we get into those patterns, so going back to the initial event, releasing it, making it neutral, making it just is, like, you're accepting of what happened, that it happened, and it doesn't have to hold you back anymore. You start to, in your mind, your subconscious, go to each event that's happened since then and release those emotions behind it as well. So it's like a string of pearls. Like if you have a string of pearls, you go, like, you can go down here to the very bottom of the string of pearls and release that emotion, and then go up and then release that one, and then go up and release this one. But when you actually jump all the way back to that initial event and release that, well, guess what? Everything from below that just releases. So when you're shifting your perspective around something, when you're shifting that event, like just making it neutral, one of the other things that I really like to kind of do, like a paradigm shift in people's minds, is the worst case scenario. So when we're going out into the future and we're thinking about things in the future, so again, we're going back and releasing everything from initial event on, and then we start to look at things in the future as, like, in our new light, our new lens, our new rose colored glasses. Like, we don't have those filters on anymore that tells us that this is a bad thing. But to really get your conscious mind and your subconscious mind in alignment, on board with each other, because this is where we typically conflict, is that one is thinking one way and the other is thinking the other way, and then you have like this butting of heads with it, and it's very abrasive. So when you look at things, you put a different spin on things. When we're looking at things in the future, we get anxiety about things in the future. It's because we're thinking of things that are the worst case scenario, but we're not really putting words on it. We're not really acknowledging that worst case scenario. That worst case scenario, we're just thinking, oh, I can't do this. Like I can't do this because I'm not good at it, like, but really deep down, it's because we think that if we try something new, that people are not going to like us, that they're going to stop talking to us, kick us out of the community, right? Or that we're not going to be loved, or that we're going to lose our house, lose our shelter, lose all our money, that we're not going to be able to take care of ourselves and our children, and I'll be considered a disgrace. People will judge me. So when we're thinking about all of these things, and we're just saying we can't do it, because we think that we're not good at it, right? But it's deeper. Like, it's actually the role that's playing the golly words, the negative self-talk that's going on in the back of our head. It's more to do with not being comfortable, not being safe, not being part of a community, being cast out. So when we're looking at the subconscious, the scenarios behind it, what we really want to do is put it into words. What is the absolute worst thing that could happen if you actually pursued that dream? Like, if you took that risk, if you made that bold move. So imagining it actually happening. Like the fear, the disappointment, the discomfort, and then accepting it. So when we're thinking of living in a box, like I'm going to lose everything and live in a box, then that actually, it's not, hold on. Sorry, husband's at the store. He needs help. Oh my goodness. Okay. So when we're looking at the worst case scenario, that you're going to be homeless, living in a box, whatever. Like, honestly, the chance that that is actually going to happen with nobody saving you, no resources, like nothing, like we all have resources. Like up until now, we've learned the things that have kept us in, that we're able to survive, where we've been able to survive up until this point. So we have resources, we have people, we've made communities. Most cases, we're not actually going to be living in a box. Like there's shelters out there, there's family members we can go move in with. We're not going to really want to, but it's an option. So the worst case scenario is typically blown up out of proportion to what would actually happen. However, because it's our subconscious, it needs to know that even if this worst case scenario happens, even if, I was to actually, with my family, go live in a box all together, and, we'll say, hopefully bigger than a refrigerator box, because that would be a very tight squeeze with all four of us in my family, right? But if that were to happen, to actually put it in your mind that I'm able to accept that. I can, like if it happened, it happened. If you neutralize that fear, And like, hey, I'm living in a box. I'm not going to be living in a box forever, like not unless I really want to, but like something will come. So by neutralizing the fear behind it, you start to release that grip on you. You free up your energy. You focus on what you want to create, not what you're trying to avoid. So the funny thing, the really thing that makes me giggle is that typically the thing that we're so afraid of, because we're avoiding it so hard, we typically put ourselves in that situation anyways by resisting it, by not not wanting to get to that point. So for instance, I'm going to have to work hard for the money. I don't want to work hard. I want to be comfortable, right? That's what the subconscious mind is saying. I don't want to work hard for the money. So what do? We do all of the things to avoid working hard by working hard. We make it harder on ourselves than it has to be. We work 3 jobs, which is like all of your time. So you end up working harder instead of just accepting it and doing the one thing that'll get you there. So it's not about facing your fears. It's about neutralizing them. It's about accepting them. It's about setting really powerful vision and intentions. Because when you actually have that vision that really tickles your fancy, like it lights you up inside, and you bring that to the front of your mind all the time, as much as you possibly can. Say it out loud. Tell people about it. Think about how great it's going to feel when you get that. Putting that energy, that emotion behind it. Then the little things to the side of you are not going to distract you as much. You're not going to get pulled over here and then over here and then over there and then up here and then back there, right? If you plant those seeds, again, realizing your vision, your intention, look at it daily, tell people about it, write it down, visualize it. Those are planting seeds. So you're planting seeds in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, and you keep watering those seeds, your subconscious mind, it's going to guide your actions and your decisions and your feelings. And so ultimately, as you shift those, you start to go on the path, on the journey to that thing, rather than taking all the side roads and it taking several years instead of just a few months, right? So when I talk about, visualizing, like, what I want you to do is to not just think about it for like a quick second. Like, I want you to actually take time with it. So if you're in a quiet space, what you'll just do is just connect with your breath. Like, close your eyes. Take a deep breath all the way down into your belly, letting it out through your mouth. I'm doing that a few more times. And then just think about your vision. Think about what you want at the end of this. What do you truly desire? What kind of life and business do you want to create? What kind of impact are you going to have on other people? Because if you're in this container, if you're in this Facebook group, if you have a business, like, I only attract people that want to do good in the world, right? So what kind of impact are you going to make on others? Are you going to make their lives better? Show them that they have purpose. Give them the motivation they need to go out there and do the things. And then what's it going to feel like when you get that? And try to put all your senses into it. Like, how does it smell? Like, what kind of feelings? What's are you going to have a smile on your face? Like, what kind of bodily sensations will you have? What will you hear? What will you taste? Maybe, like, to celebrate, you're going to have a glass of champagne. Like, really put all those emotions behind it. Like, ramp it up. Like, I always think of Phoebe in Friends, like, when she does the little dance, right? So think about that, like hitting your goal and feeling that excitement. So really sit into it for a few minutes, right? And then when you open your eyes, write it down. Put your intentions into words. Put the emotions, all the things that you felt, using clear, positive language. And as you write, really connect with the words and the sensations and the emotions associated with that vision. And then release it into the universe. Like, trust that the universe has your back, that things are already in motion. You know, the thing that I was told, when you have a vision for something, like this big vision, like it gives you the tinglies, like you're so excited about it, it's because your future self already has that thing. They've already accomplished it. They've already done it. So they send this energy, this messaging back to you so that you can start picking up the toothpicks, picking up the energy behind it. Like, this is where your idea pops in your head, is because it's presupposing that your future self has already obtained that thing. And it feels so good for them that they cannot wait for you to start. So they throw out the little messages and the energies so that eventually you'll pick up that idea and run with it. Perhaps even getting there faster. So, with the courage to face your fears and neutralize them, right? You're creating a powerful alchemy for transformation. So just that little exercise, do it several times. Like, make it your mantra, your mission, right? That no matter what it takes, I will get there. So this is something that we're going to dive in way deeper into in the masterclass. So the masterclass is going to be at noon next Wednesday. So I'll still be doing the live in the morning, but we're going to spend a couple hours on this next Wednesday, and it's going to be by Zoom. So you have the ability to ask me questions, go through the exercises with me. We're going to do a powerful process where we're actually setting clear and aligned intentions, and we're going to snap it into place in your subconscious mind so you actually get there. So we're overcoming that self-sabotage. We step into your power. We inspire ourselves to actually get it, right? So this is I'm doing this next Wednesday at noon, and then I'm doing a bonus day as well because I feel like 2 hours might not be enough to do everything. So we're gonna go over some things that a day later, but that one's gonna be at I think I put it for 6:30 p.m. So not the same time, but it's a day later. So it's gonna technically be a 2-day event. However, this is something that if you're able to show up live, you'll get some free things. And if you're able to show up live, you're going to actually get things in motion right then. So if you can show up live, if not, there is a recording, but you won't get the free gifts. So I hope to see everybody there. Register for it if you have not. If you have not registered yet, do it in the comments below. So I appreciate you guys. I love you all for being in my community. Again, words are hard today, but it's also snowed yesterday in Texas, and I'm just all bundled up and trying not to go outside. So appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll see you later.